Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in. We are excited to be back. I am your host, Sonia Staples, and this is From Prison to Promise, y'all. It is 2020, and we are back with some new exciting things, new exciting people. I got a co-host hanging in there with me, and guess what? He is a returning citizen as well. So this is going to be dope. I hope you guys have still been following the journey. My book is out, and I got my publisher extraordinaire in the building. She's also my producer for the show. And we're just going to have some good fun, you guys. We got a lot of exciting things going on. A lot of our brothers and sisters are coming home. Unfortunately, due to COVID, but hey, they're coming home. So we definitely want to welcome them and show our appreciation and our love as we continue this journey and continue this fight for our brothers and sisters. So we're just going to get right into it because I am real excited to be back and also excited to have my co-host here with me because our banter is like no other. I don't even know how to put it, but I am very excited to introduce my brother, Mr. Henderson, Mr. Raheem Henderson. How are you today?
I'm living. I can't complain.
So just a preface with him, everything starts with a and it's not necessarily that bad, but like he said, he's living. And as we get into more of the story, you guys get to hear why he's coming off the top with I'm living, which is a good statement. I definitely like that. So, already introduced you. You are my co-host, which I could definitely appreciate.
Indeed, I appreciate it.
Yes, and you have to come closer so we can hear you. Yes, sir. And don't this shyness stuff. I don't even know what it is because you're not shy. So we're just gonna get right into it. Mr. Henderson, Raheem, my brother, tell us about your journey since you have been back home.
It's been a tedious one. I'm going to say it's been very strenuous. I've learned a lot throughout my travels. The thing is, like my whole time incarcerated was nothing more than the training ground for this out here. Like my implementation of everything that I do out here, I do it based upon the information that was fed to me by the youngins when they was coming in, because I was catching them as they was coming in.
Gotcha. And
they was looking for something to latch on to, to basically calm them down, and they needed it. And then I didn't want to be in a hostile environment anyway with all the wild and crazy stuff.
Okay.
So, okay, I got something for you, brother. It's gonna calm you down.
Right.
And okay, and it was in exchange. In exchange for what I'm giving you, because this is what I'm giving you is going to need to be replaced, or going to need you to replace something that you're going to get rid of.
Okay.
So I would give them, knowledge of self, or a new way of interpreting information. And in exchange, tell me how it was on the streets. So they would tell me their story and how it was on the streets. These was youngins that was just coming from the street.
Okay, so you were building on them and teaching them at the same time.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly. I had to find a medium of communication.
So at that point, when you started doing that type of work in your incarceration, or it may have been since the beginning of your incarceration, how long had you been in before you decided that you wanted to actually start the mentorship part of it?
Positively, after the first 7 years.
Okay.
My first 7 years, I just wilded out. Like, I allowed time to do me.
Okay.
I wasn't being productive.
Gotcha.
I was running around wild. I had a lot of influence. I had a lot of information, but I didn't know how to apply that information. So I had no understanding of the effect that it would have if given to the certain or the wrong people.
Right.
Or if used the wrong way.
Okay.
So my first 7 years, I just wilded out. Like.
And how old were you when you were incarcerated?
My first incarceration took place, I was 15.
Okay.
I did 5 years.
Okay.
I came home for 31 days.
And was back?
And yes, that's when I caught end up doing the 22 years.
Okay.
So, like I said, that first skit, I did nothing. I'm talking about absolutely nothing, but wild out. I actually wild out.
I mean, you were a kid.
Yeah, like I said, but I was a kid with I was a kid with an immature man mentality.
Of course.
Like I said, I had a lot of information, but I didn't know how to apply it.
Okay, so when you say you had a lot of information, because 15 is a young age to be incarcerated, what were some of the things, who were some of the people that gave you that information?
Individuals in prison.
Okay.
It came from prison.
Gotcha.
I was molded in that, like, in the likeness of the individuals that I experienced over the years, both positive and negative.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so everything that I experienced, I allowed myself to experience it, or the depth of it, because I needed to learn more.
Gotcha.
You know, so I create my own circumstances. That's what I mean by that.
So 22 years in prison, very long time. That's a lifetime for a 22-year-old. You know, to put it in perspective. Can you remember what your scariest moment was during that 22 years?
Coming down the basketball court and just falling out and couldn't feel my body.
Mm.
That's when I found out that I had MS.
Okay.
But that right there was the scariest moment. Them days that I spent in the emergency room, like, I couldn't feel I couldn't walk, I couldn't nothing. Like, that was my scariest moment.
Yeah.
But in that time, I fell back on, you know, what had become a norm for me. Because by this time, like, applying supreme mathematics or a certain way of thinking enabled me to live my life productively.
Okay.
So that's what I did. While I was on that joint, I just came to grips, like, whatever it is going to be. I still got my mind state because I was able to communicate. Like, I was raising Cain down there. The doctor was like, man, y'all got to do something. Can y'all write up with y'all? Like, no, you need to tell me what's wrong with me.
Yeah.
So, like, that was my scariest moment. But like I said, within them 72 hours of laying there trying to get my strength, like, all I did was quote my lessons. Like, that's all I did in my head, was have conversations with myself. How would I express this if given the opportunity? Okay, I know I'm gonna have to leave the prelude to that. You know, I'm gonna have to say this or say something in this magnitude to spark that reaction. Because the only thing that brings about change is dissatisfaction. So if an individual is content or complacent with the way that they live, regardless of what they, you know, profess to adhere to, if you ain't trying to change,
right?
You know, and if you grasp on to something and you're trying to change and you're not satisfied with what you got.
True, absolutely true. What was your support system like when you were incarcerated? I
didn't have one. I've been estranged from my family since I was 13 and a half years old. I'm talking about the estrangement went to the point of me moving to another state. Mm-hmm. That's how deep it was. I went to another state, so I didn't have it. Mm-hmm. But the support system that I had was my brothers in prison and their family. Because, like, I was never like put it this way, if I dealt with you, I was a good dude to you. But you didn't want to be on the negative side.
I got you.
You know, the whim and the Hindu, and dudes don't want to get to know that dude.
Got you.
So, it just was.
So, to me, the connection is, I don't want to say questionable, I just have to define the connection because it's awesome that you can find the heart to mentor, despite the situation, the heart to mentor someone or take in someone being estranged from the people that, you know, were put here as your foundation. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever thought about that connection? Like, how does someone that was taken away from nurturing or estranged from that family element decide to want to create and nurture their own family?
The lack thereof.
Okay. The
lack thereof. Because, like I said, my whole life, and I really just came to this realization here recently. My whole life, though, I've been evolving into the individual that I needed when I was coming up. I needed a me. Like, I'm talking about from a baby. I needed a me. Kids loved me. But I needed to be communicated like I communicate with kids when I was a kid. I needed that, yo. I didn't have that. So
would you say that was you not knowing yourself? Is that what you're saying? Like I needed a me. Did you not know yourself? Did you not know your self-worth? Like, define that.
True indeed. That it didn't exist. It didn't exist. Mm-hmm. I was basically living a life that was imposed upon me.
Oh, okay.
Whether it was suggestively or otherwise, it was imposed upon me. I'm talking about from inception. You know, instilling certain thoughts, the way that you view reality, like and surely, whether individuals want to agree with it or not, the way that you perceive and view reality in your mind, going to live out through your life. You're going to express that through your ways and actions, whether you want to or not. So it's best that you take control of that and internalize it and put it out positively. Like, and you know, that's the basic thing with me. Like, I became the change that I desired. I needed a me, yo. So it's like I do so much for just the love of the game. And when I say that, people be like, "What you consider life a game?" Yes, I do. It's a chess game. That's exactly what it is. It's a chess game, and it's a mental chess game. How you move determines your success.
Absolutely.
Point blank, period.
Yeah.
And you know, so that's my whole thing.
Okay.
Like,
now, since you've been home, how long have you been home? First of all.
Since March 6, 2017.
Okay. Since you've been home, what is your biggest accomplishment on this side?
I to be truthful, I don't have a accomplishment that outweighs another one. I really don't. Like, I've done so much. Like,
so do you have an accomplishment that meant more to you?
No. Truthfully, I really don't. Like,
you told me one. That's why I'm asking you.
This is the thing, and I'm finding here lately.
I gotta give him the mama eye because
Yes,
he don't
you did.
understand what I understand when I understand.
Okay, everything that I do falls under the umbrella of providing for my family in prison. Everything revolves around my brothers in prison.
For you.
For me,
Man, what that mean?
that's what.
We talking about self this whole time and you ain't did nothing to satisfy yourself? Yeah. You see how backwards that
No,
is?
but
Yeah,
this is
y'all
the thing.
heard what
No,
y'all heard
this
what I
is the
had
thing.
said?
I through my days and nights, like I said, I don't attribute more to one accomplishment than another one.
Get closer to the mic for me.
I don't put more value on one than another one. I apply or effectively or apply the same facet of energy for each one of
For
them.
each
I
one.
just critique it for each accomplishment.
So
Okay.
give me an accomplishment of yours since you've been home. Let's put it that way.
I could say basically getting off parole.
That's an awesome
You know,
accomplishment.
that getting off parole was one because, like I said, first and foremost, like I'm just finding out that, like, I was released before my time. Like, they was like, yo, you still owe us time because I caught time in prison. So they try to, like, you can do it on parole or you can be. I'm gonna do it on parole. I'm already out here.
Duh.
Like, so
No, I'm just gonna come on back to prison, no
Yeah.
problem.
So, I wasn't supposed to get off till 2022. So me getting off papers, that was like, and for real, like I told you, my only challenge, and I've equated everything that I've ever been through in life and what I've experienced since I've been home, none of it, man, equates to learning to walk again, yo.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
But hold, no,
That
I'm
was the
listening.
answer that I was looking for.
And see, but you see how they coincide. Like, had I not done all the things that I've done, it wouldn't walk
It
again.
wouldn't compare.
Exactly. It wouldn't have the purpose or the glorification that it has, because like individuals hear my story and be like, wow, dude.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to get that answer.
Yeah, but it's like, it's something that, like I said, I'm an open book with mine.
I got you.
Individuals that know me, I make myself accessible, talk to me. I don't have no problem with it.
Yeah.
And it's the coin is always ready to be flipped with me. If you want to keep it down on the ground and we want to stay heads up, toes up together, that's peace. But if you lift that coin up and flip it and it go on tails and I see your backside and you got I got
It's a
it.
problem.
Yeah. But it's all good. It's growth and development.
I got you.
You learn to recognize certain attributes or certain characteristics in the individual from the individuals that you dealt with throughout your life. Like, I got a mental Rolodex, and so penitentiary wasn't like a breeding ground of intellect. Like, you meet so many different individuals in there.
But listen. Listen.
Yeah.
Because the more of the population of returning citizens that I meet, the more I see the similarities and I see what you guys hold as gold compared to what we hold as gold. Like, for example, Uncle Dave. Love my Uncle Dave. Shout out my Uncle Dave. That's my boo. That's my boo. So I called, we talked, and he said, niece, I love going to work. And I was like, I know you do. It feels great. And I'm thinking surface-wise. I'm thinking because you done came home, you got a job, and you provided for yourself, And he said, you know what I do on my break? I said, what? He said, me and a couple of other guys that just came home, it's a lake in the back. and we could just go out there and we sit and look at the lake. And I was like, you know, that took me back because I was like, stuff that we have access to all the time. That's what y'all hold golden. I was talking to my husband and he was like, you know what? The sunset was so beautiful tonight. I got to see. He said I got to see the sunset coming from work, and it was like hearing him talking about a stack of $1 million. And it just grounded me because I'm like, wow, they'll put it in perspective to give you a whole new set of eyes to look on life and appreciate what you got. That's a wow moment.
Exact. True indeed.
That's wow.
Yes, it is.
When you said, I was happy because I learned how to walk again. When you first said that joint punched me in my chest. Sitting on your couch.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
It did. But I was just like, oh, wow. And I'm sitting up here complaining about such a stupid thing, and this man just learned how to walk. What am I doing?
Yeah, like I said, it's like, and I use that because that was how I going to measure my accomplishment. If it don't exceed that, it's not an accomplishment to me. Nothing's going to ever exceed that. Right. Which means I'm going to continuously strive to improve myself to try to reach that. That's how you got to trick the brain. Wow. The same way we was tricked into thinking the way we think as savages, you got to think the same way when you get mature. You got to learn to internalize it and trick yourself. When I look out here in this world, like and despite the fact that I was prepared by the youngest coming in and telling me,
right, certain
things I still anger me. But you know what I do, yo? I internalize it, yo. I just take it in, yo, and like, okay, how can I affect change there without actually disrespecting them? Because they, once again, communication.
Right.
We communicate a whole different, way of speaking. You know, an old head or individual that done time,
absolutely,
as opposed to individuals on the street that, like you said, value system. And that's even with our vocabulary. Like certain words we extract from our vocabulary. Because it's like when saying it to us has become, over the years, it becomes something so offensive rather.
Right.
That I don't even want to use it in my vocabulary.
Yeah, I've learned my difference between the convict and the inmate. Oh my God.
Did you just drop that?
I thought it was a word. I apologize. I just thought it was a word. It's a whole issue, y'all. It's not an issue, but like you said, it's a part of your system because y'all got a whole definition. But
yes,
behind this too, and a whole philosophy, and I just feel like it is not that serious. You're like, oh, but it is.
Yes, it is. Like,
and I had a CO tell me that. They was like, yeah, it's a difference. I was like, oh. He said, yeah. And please don't disrespect one of them by calling. I said, oh, well, I just ain't working prison.
They take that to heart. Yes, that's the heart.
My husband we had a drawn out argument about it. I said, baby, he was like, nah, because you don't understand.
Hey, you know what? Seriously, you know what I learned, like my last 10, 12 years in prison, to distinguish myself to that and never fall up under that and be misidentified by that. I start behaving in a manner that they be like, yo, you put it this way, it set precedence with those that matter. So when they was training the officers that was coming in,
they knew.
That's a main dude right there. You ain't never got to worry about them disrespecting you, this, that, and the third. That's the dude you want to deal with. Everything replicates in the likeness of itself. If you being trained by a woman that move like this, you gonna move the same way she is.
True.
Point blank, everything replicates in the likeness of itself. I learned that. So I started to behave in a manner that drew people to me. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like I said, it's all good when it's good. But just the same way, you get the reward for justice, mm-hmm. It also has a flip side. A penalty. Chastisement with however it comes. And I kind of like, that's one of my feels. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like dealing with hard heads all them years, I'm finding myself having to mitigate it or adjust it to dealing with women out here because, I can't be, but, I'm
speaking of.
What?
We talking my language now. We'll get to that in a little bit. So anyway.
Wow. Well, I just stuck my foot in.
Mm-hmm. All in this stuff. But before we get to that, I really admire the fact of you taking the time with the young people because a lot of older people dismiss the value in a young person because of their delivery. Now realizing that you can learn a lot from these young people if you just listen to them. Because the delivery is brash, but you have to understand we used to be brash too. Sometimes we still are. If you catch us wrong. You know, but it's a lot to be learned from the youth. With that being said, 22 years. Throughout that lifetime, you done seen droves of different youngins coming in. Did you notice a change in your mentorship towards the different populations coming in? Because these are different generations. These kids different.
Okay, now, listen, I'm
Poor babies. I love y'all, but y'all different.
Yeah, they are. But one thing about it, the teacher, you're going to adjust your teachings to get everybody. If you see an individual and you ain't got their attention, you're supposed to be able to switch your dialect to reach that individual. All that, if I reach one, I ain't with that. Don't bring that to me. I don't have no respect for that. If I reach one, how can you say that you're a teacher if you only striving to reach one? Because that's what you already done put that in your head. That if I reach one, let me do enough to reach one. No, we ain't trying to do enough. We trying to do what needs to be done. Not enough. So I just, that was my application, like I said. And I everything that I do, I didn't have. And the baby mentality, what I found is irrelevant. I mean, it's relevant or real, explosive in 30, 40, 50, and 60-year-olds. They are the most biggest kids in prison, yo. Because of the mentality.
Because a lot of them haven't had the opportunity to be a child.
Exactly my point. And this is
you were one of those people, 15.
Yeah, but this is the thing, is how you allow it to affect you.
True.
That's the whole thing. That's why I say that, I don't perceive information like nobody out here in the world. I don't. I look forward to my daily phone call from prison. I get to escape this world. I look forward to it. I'm dead serious. I look forward to it.
And you know what? With that being said, it's a flip side to that, because the same way you feel comfortable in that, the same way we don't feel comfortable in it. So there's a disconnect. And y'all don't realize that.
Oh, no, this is the thing. I realize this, and I'm conveying this message. That's why I stayed in contact with my brothers.
Okay.
I got 290-some email accounts. I'm in constant communication with my brothers, just relaying the fact.
JPay online.
Yeah, real talk. They listen.
But I know. Miss Sonia, you okay, Miss Sonia? You all right?
So
yes, honey.
It is what. So it's basically I relate to them all the stuff that they go to. A lot of them, the mentalities, we're getting angry, the lack of frustration, just popping up when we ask y'all to do something, we don't get it done like that in prison. I had to get out here. I'm having to relate back, hold up, bro. Because for the last 3 years, my family in prison is ridiculous. I got so many of them. But this is the thing. I've been doing it myself, like I said, for the love of this game, this chess game, because this is what it is, yo.
And that's your family.
And that's all I know right there.
Exactly.
That's all I know. It's like for me to introduce you to my family, you did a hard.
I want to tap on to what you said about, it's all about how you allow the situation to affect you.
Yes, true indeed.
And you're absolutely right, because not one guest I have not had has had a strong faith and a strong belief, and that's what they say got them through. I mean, straight. I admire it, because I have a belief, but I'm not grounded in one thing. I'm not deep in one thing. I want to be, trust me, I do. But it's just so many interpretations that I can't, and life ain't that hard for me. But anyway, that's another show. So, but what I want to say to you is some things y'all don't realize that you have been affected by. Y'all don't realize it. And it's when we say something, it's it's yeah. And we have to actually show you. I get what you're saying, but I wanted to bring that up so you can see the banter that we have. We back and forth, because you're but sis, you got to understand. I'm nah, that ain't got nothing to do with me. But I just want you to understand where that passion and that rage is coming from, because y'all do things because y'all are used to doing it in that way and don't realize how it translates to us. And that's where it gets ugly.
Let me give you a part. I don't know if you ever been present during my conversations, any of them, with any of my brothers from prison.
Sunday, yeah.
Do you see how I talk to them?
Right.
Do you see how we communicate? No, but do you see how, basically, the way you feel and the raise that you got towards them, that's why I communicate like this. Seriously.
Right.
That's what, because
But
I'm
you do that to women
but I'm
too.
showing,
You do that to women too.
it don't make no difference who it is. Like, I ain't got
It does, because you're not supposed to talk to us like that.
No, hold on, this is the thing. What you show me, basically, if you show me a powerful woman capable of taking whatever storms your way,
Yeah.
that's how I'm gonna deal with you. Point blank, period.
So
See,
you just gonna throw me the storm?
throw it to you. Yeah, I'm
No,
only gonna throw you what you can handle. Put it that
How
way.
you know what I can handle?
Just because I know what lights a fire under you. If I'm dealing with you to that magnitude where we exchanging information like that,
True.
yes, indeed, I know what sparks you. And some,
I'm listening.
did you really? Oh wow.
I'm listening because I get exactly what you're saying. I do. But it has y'all don't realize the stuff you do. For example, again, my Uncle Dave, love him. He said to himself, he came home to a great situation. Had his own little third floor. You might as well say it was an apartment. It was in one house. Own little third floor thing. He said his sister had to take him outside of the room and told him to turn around and look at your room. He said he didn't even realize that he had his whole little place, a loft, set up like the penitentiary.
Wow.
Right. That's why I'm saying y'all don't realize it because you're in it. But then when we say something, it's like, no, I don't.
But see, this is the thing, okay, and I understand it. I understand why, like that perception like that. Because when I had my own spot, anybody that I invited over there, that's all I got was, yo, your joint look like a cell. I was like, I know, but let me hit you. I'm about to hit you to something.
Right.
Especially with Brother Dave. We lived a certain lifestyle that required that you knew where everything in your cell was at every time. Because if you didn't, there was a possibility that your time was going to fluctuate higher. So you needed to know where everything was. So that caused you to be neat and recognize everything. Once again, and when you, like I said, when you begin to apply certain information that you required, you just perceive information differently.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking about totally differently. Like, I look at 2 + 2 = 4 and 2 × 2 = 4 totally different.
Right.
I don't look at them the same, despite the fact that they equal the same thing. I don't look at them like that. Like I said, and that's how I apply everything in life. Something so simple.
Right.
I've taken it and it's enabled me to live my life like I'm living. And I'm good with this.
So we have to find a medium.
Why we gotta find a medium? You do what you do in your lane, I'm gonna do what I do in my lane.
But that's
We
not
still-
how it works in a relationship, you know.
We ain't got no relationship. What relationship we got?
The relationship that we have amongst each other. We relate. We're relating now. This is a
Hold
relationship.
up, us. Hold up, listen. When I've learned to deal with you, it's like I've understood that. No, I'm serious. I've learned this in the 3 times that we met. I've learned that you have your way of doing things. You're gonna do them like that. That's how it is. If you can offer some assistance, you will offer it. But and that's where it stopped at. I'm peace with that. I have no problem with it. You ain't got to worry about no imposition and nothing that I live. I'm not going to impose my views on you. The way you live is how you live. The way is we have one goal. How we reach it, it don't make no difference.
Right. But I ain't even going that far. I'm just You don't went there. My bad. I ain't going that far. All I was saying is we just want to have communication. That's all. We just want to talk.
Hey, yo.
I just want to have a conversation.
Hey, look, you know I got a little temper tantrum kid in me. I will turn this mic over and walk away.
So his eyes got real big.
I just want you to know
everybody
that I will
that's
turn this.
listening.
I just want you to know I will turn this joint over.
Yeah, he will. And I'm going to sit here and look at him just like this. Y'all see this going on right there?
Oh, man.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I mean, but it's all good because I'm very grateful for you. Honestly,
No, I'm very grateful. Look.
No, let me
Okay.
see, because this is what we fight.
Exactly. Let me get mad out
He
first.
won't let me love him, y'all.
No. All right, come on.
But this is the honest to God truth because when we sat down that time and we had that conversation, and I was on 3,000, and you was like, "But sis, you gotta understand." I was like, "I ain't gotta understand." My light skin was turned all the way up, and I was
Yes,
very
it was. Yes, it was. She was. Yes, it was.
And it was early in the morning. That's the sad part about it.
Yes, it was.
It was bright and early. And even though your delivery is brash, that's how it is. That's Rob. Duh. Yeah, that's you. But own it, bro. That's you. But it was the truth, and it was something that I needed to hear. And right before you guys came in, we was talking about that, and I kept telling people I need a therapist that's gonna be like, you need to da. Basically, what you gave me, because I was stubborn and in my own way, and then you did say, as well as Ayoka, y'all are together. So this is something that you're gonna have to deal with. Like, it's gonna get on your nerves, but this is something that you're gonna have to deal with. And it ain't no what it got to do with me. Cause I really thought about that joint when I left there. And trust and believe, if you wouldn't have said what you would have said, I would have still probably been mad at my husband, and he would have never gotten an apology, because I don't do that, because I'm a G in these streets. But don't tell him I said that. I love you, Jonathan. But I do appreciate that. I appreciate the conversation I can have with you, Uncle Dave, and any other brothers that I can have, because y'all understand what I'm talking about. The first thing they be like, "Yo, how my boy doing?" I be like, "He getting on my nerves," and all y'all do is laugh. Because y'all know he getting on my nerves. And the first thing y'all be like, "He about to come home. He gonna act like a kid. You just gotta." I be like, "Oh my God, I'm ready to choke him."
Yes, that's what you about to get. But that's people around me, like when I go over kids, how all the kids, they love it. Listen, they love the kids. All the kids, I'm talking about, it don't make no difference.
Because he a kid.
Exactly, but that's the whole thing. I would go get on the floor, play and crawl, but I don't even care. They ain't got
Right.
I don't care. I'm getting right on the floor and play with them. Like, but once again, I'm so accustomed to dealing with 20, 30, 40, 50-year-old kids.
True.
I know how to deal with them. But I also know how to make it relative to them teens. Like, I'm loving the youngsters out here. Like, when I first came home, through, one of my young brothers that I mentor in prison, he was out here the year before. He had hooked up with Art 180 and then to mentorship program down there.
Okay.
He had been telling them about me even before I got out. He was been telling them, like, because they had been asking him about his skills. Yo, how was you able to do? Why? Man, one of my mentors, man, rah. So he had been just talking about me. When I first hit home, that's the first thing. Yo, you need to go down Art 180, yo.
I think my kids went on a field trip there.
Yeah, this was during the time. So when I get out, I'm walking by the joint one day, just strolling. I see his girlfriend. I look at her. I know they're Facebook friends, but she worked down Art 180, and I know this. I'm like, hold up. So I just called out her name. Hey, yo, She was like, yeah. I was like, yo, you my friend. She recognized me because of my clothing. You boy at that time, Erie. But she recognized it, and she was like, oh yeah. We talked. She was like, Art 180 right here, come out. And I went in there. And immediately, hooked up with Gina Lyles and the little crew that they had down there at the time, and made a nice little documentary about the school to prison pipeline.
Wow.
The thing about it is, the interaction with those youngins in a confined area. It's like they was bringing individuals from the detention home, mm-hmm. four males, one female. They was bringing them 3 times a week there. During that time, I locked in with them youngins so much and learned, like, just as the youngins that was coming in prison, like the same thing. Somebody just to listen to them, yo.
Right.
Because their mentality, and I kind of agree with them. Just because you've lived 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 years old, because you've been alive that long, don't mean you've lived. Mm-hmm. You've just been alive. You ain't lived. Mm-hmm. What can you look back in that time and say that you've done?
Or if you've been living for somebody else.
Either way, you're not living. You're just alive. Right. Because if you could be a human, look at vegetables. They're alive. But what other do they do than just sit there?
Nothing.
Exactly. Grow to the extent of the environment that they're placed in, as mentalities tend to do.
Wow. That's another show. Wow. Don't do that. Start me up in here with the collection plate. Wait.
Don't get me started. You already know once I get the I get the point out. I'm just.
Well, that's all right. I mean, it's your passion, and I appreciate that. A lot of people have given up on our youth. A lot of people, they just don't want to hear it. Especially in the state of the world, what's going on now, it's so much mess going on. I'm just so tired of it because none of this stuff is new. So why are we acting as such? But anyway,
Why we're acting as such? Because the advancement of technology. Has made the brain accessible. Need I elaborate?
I would drop the mic, but it ain't mine. But I mean, no,
Okay.
you don't have to.
And that's exactly why, yo.
Because none of this is new.
It's been going on, but now it's being filmed and you're able to see it visually. But long as you was being told about it, nobody believed it. I came home on some clean freak stuff, like I said, because that's all I knew. But I knew it before I went to prison. I've always been like this. Because my grandma told me, yo, you're a little ugly, so you better learn all the stuff that you can. So I had to learn how to cook. I had to learn all the things that the stereotypical woman's supposed. Nah. My grandma made sure I learned all that. I went through MGT and GCC. For those who know what that is, I went through all that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I went through it as a young man. I had to go through it. Them were things I wanted to know. Like, I needed to know how to be clean. I came out here in society, like, when I came out here, I always been, like, crowds. I ain't trying to be around, never was. I just felt vulnerable. I'm not the individual that I was when I went in prison. So the things that I was, susceptible to or willing to do then, I'm not willing to do now. Being around crowds, one of them. I'm not comfortable, so that's always been my thing. Cleanliness, I kept from day one. When I first hit the streets, I've been keeping hand sanitizer with me. People stay running up on me, jacking me for my hand sanitizer. So now it's like I got to the point. So it's like when they impose and enforce society to do all this, I was like, hey, welcome to my world. I stayed going downtown, taking pictures in the middle of the streets that I couldn't cross when it's regular. Look, man.
I'm so sick of him.
I would pull. You think I'm joking? I peeped some in my bag.
He done pulled it out like somebody's old grandma.
I was peeping in my bag.
And she got it on her keychain. I'm sick of you.
We stay. Yeah, what?
We stay strapped.
Bad. I ain't advertising for this, but yeah, I keep saying it. Yeah.
I cannot.
Yeah. So
I got a question. What was the hardest thing for you when you first came home?
The hardest thing for me, I think, was communication. Okay. Communication, like learning, because I kept institutional infractions for vulgar and insolent language in prison.
No.
Who? Man, I stacked up to what?
Not you.
Man, listen, I stacked them. I had plenty of them. So in order, to deter getting those charges, which I ain't had no problem with getting, because my mind was set on 2022. Anything else didn't make a difference. That was the only date. I had a date when I first came in, and the only one I looked at was the one I was scheduled to go out on was in 2022. That was my mandatory. All the going up for parole, yeah, right, whatever. So I'm just sure I'm letting you know this mentality right here exists. A whole lot of individuals harbor it, but they won't speak on it. I ain't got no problem with it because it's done and over with, and it enabled me to become the individual that I am. Everything that I went through, good or bad, I don't even care. Mm-hmm. I appreciate all of it.
You have to.
It made me who I am today. I love it. So, that was like my main thing was communication, learning to communicate. Because I'm like, if I'm viewed on how effective my teaching or my method of teaching is, as opposed to the runoffs, it outweighs it. No matter how you try to compare it, the achievements or that accomplished as opposed to the information given in the manner that I give it, it outweighs what falls to the wayside. I don't mind that because I'm no longer going to strive. I've been trying for the last few years to get individuals to live the life that we fantasized about in prison.
Wow.
I want to go home if I had the opportunity, because we would see individuals out here that go from prison saying they're going to get out and do this and do that and don't never do it.
Yeah.
So it's like when you get out here and you don't do it yourself, after you done sat in prison with me for years and talked about, you just develop a dislike for those individuals. And that's like I said, once again, it's back to becoming the change that I desired. I needed a me when I came home. Somebody to pick up that phone, send me some pictures. Right, what's going on out there? What's the latest style out there? It's sometimes, yes, I ain't got no problem with that. Because every time when I'm come home, I'm straight over their house. Let me get so-and-so, that. Because I need it, because you know a little food, because it's like a photo shoot.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like they live vicariously through me. But now it's just so happy some of them is actually coming out here. And I can't wait. I can't wait just to have some individuals with a like mind where I can move out how I need to move out.
And let me ask you that. How does it feel when, because y'all go and y'all, like, when y'all say, I'm my brother's keeper. I said, everybody got a coming home party. Y'all go get these brothers and go pick them up and take pictures with them and share, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a strong community.
It's family.
Does that, right, but
it's the only
what is that
a lot of us,
emotion like every time?
it's never changes. I can talk to somebody. I just did, matter of fact, got in contact with one of my brothers from way, way back, yo. When he first came to prison. To hear his voice and how he's grown, once I explained to him who I was, he was like, yo.
That tears me apart.
Hey, look, I'm talking about that joint heavy. I'm melting down, but that joint, boy, I was like, whoa.
That tears me apart.
So to hear his growth and development and hear that same sincerity in his voice, like he was like, bruh, just to know that despite all you going through, bruh, you're doing it, yo.
Yep.
Man.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it's like that. That joint, yeah. So
the young guy, we was Facebook friends, and he was Facebook friends with my husband. I knew exactly who he was, and he had a T-shirt line. So I said, I'm gonna support the young guy, cause he's doing his thing. So I went to go get the shirt, and bless his heart, he dropped out the car. How you doing, ma'am? Everything was yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. How you doing? Here go the shirts. You can look through. This is what I'm doing. This is what it stands for and everything. And I'm just looking at him smiling. I said, you don't know who I am, do you? He said, no. I said, I'm Rat Boy wife. And I tell you, that boy almost fell to his knees.
Cause you're
and he said, your husband helped me out so much.
True.
He said, I've been locked up since I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
That boy did 10 years. And that baby is coming out mentoring other kids. Shout out to Ernest Purvo, Lil E. He got the bully line. Shout out to Lil E. But he was like, you don't know how much your husband means to me. And I'm just standing here like, oh my God. So that night, I surprised my husband. He called, he was all tired and everything. I said, hey, hold on, I got a surprise for you. In the same situation, I called him. And he was like, bro, I'm out here doing this. Remember I told you I was going to do this? I'm out here doing it, big bro. I got this, I got that, I got this. And my husband was just on the phone, weeping like a baby. He was like, that's what's up, bro. He said, you made my night. I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah, that go a long way, like little stuff like that. But this is the thing, us that's out here they do it like that. Like, I can't speak for nobody else. The reason I do it, I didn't have that, yo.
Right.
So much, and so many individuals went home with it, yo, I got you, I'm gonna do this. It's like, it went through phases. It went from, yo, I got you, I'm gonna send some money, I'm gonna do this, that, to, it got where I did it. I got tired of that, you wanna send me some money. I don't need you to send no money, bro. Just send word back that, you know.
That you fine, that you good.
It got to the point where it was like, I don't even care what you do, bro. If you reach out, you reach out. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah.
It's like, it got to that point. You know, it's like you already knew who was going to go out there and do what they were going to do.
Yeah.
You know, that was already understood. And I told you about the Indian rituals that we go through, you know, before you leave prison. Whatever organization that you're a part of, like the week prior or whatever, the last cipher or program that you have before you go home,
okay,
they put you in the middle of the cipher, in the middle of the program. And they ask you questions like, what you going to do when you get out? You know, it's like everybody, you know, it's everybody's verve, the individual, depending on, but basically all of it is basically the same thing. Like, yo, we're going to get out there and make this, that, and that happen for y'all right here. All of them surround that.
Right.
But like I said, the reason for me saying this was like, everybody always gave a detailed, descriptive idea of what they were gonna do. Nah, you know, I got to be the hard head.
Of course.
They was like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when you get out there, bro? I was like, I ain't gonna do nothing, man. What you mean by that? I was like, I ain't gonna do no thing in particular. I'm gonna do everything. And left it at that. And I ain't saying nothing else. But I had already been circulating my little address book, just getting it out, sending it to different buildings.
Right.
Put your name in here. Yeah, I still got it. Like, put your name in, put your name and number here. I ain't had no ask what you want? Put your name and number. Even in the wheelchair, yes, I did, yeah.
So, bad in a wheelchair.
Who? Because them youngins, listen, I'm dead serious. When I When I moved on the yard, it was a bunch of youngins around me. I'm dead serious. The youngins love me. I told you when I was catching them with.
That's who you are. And you know I love you, wheelchair Willie. No, but back to what you were saying about that feeling. Last year, was it last year? The Return of Citizens?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, it was last year. Last year, in that room, Marcus will tell you. But I think both of us was in the back like, with our mouth open. Because listening to y'all stories and seeing the admiration y'all have for each other.
Yeah, true.
In that building, that was crazy.
Yeah, true indeed.
Every last vendor that they had there was a Return of
Yes,
Citizens.
yes.
If not being represented by one. But again, when y'all had the speakers up, you know, and that was a very hard time. Rest in peace, Juwan. That was a very hard time because Juwan had just passed. But y'all packed that room. Like, that room was to past capacity because I think we even ran out of food. I don't think everybody ate. I know I didn't. Let me pull on some chicken.
It takes you.
It does, because I want my chicken. It look good. But I mean, y'all was eating. I like to eat too. But I mean, that wasn't even the biggest thing. Just having everybody come together, showing love, black men under one roof, doing something productive. And it was over.
Society's castaways. You got a
Society's
bunch of
castaways.
society's castaways in there showing y'all, hold up. Not only did we accept with no hard feelings all the stuff you put us through while we was doing time, but we gonna come out here in society and we gonna run circles around y'all. And ain't nothing that you can do about it. Nothing.
And some of them was in the building to witness it.
Yes, they was. And
In the front.
yes, they was. Take this.
Yeah.
Remember-
I mean, they had some PhDs and some DDs with some CDs and some BDs in there. And all of them was looking there all that time in that room. It was over 100,000 years done in that room.
Yes, it was. Literally, yes, it was.
It was over 100,000
Man,
years done in
listen.
that room.
Yes, it was. Like, occasions like that always, like, they mean so much because, like I said, we feed off each other. Like, we've learned to really do that. Regardless of what you going through, I don't care. If we rock like that, I don't care what you going through, or vice versa.
Right.
Our vibe is always gonna be the same. Whatever, however we rock, because each individual that we deal with differently.
Yeah.
We deal with them, for the interaction that we, like you said, interaction, communication, how you communicate with them. How likely is it that the information that I give to them will be utilized properly?
Right.
You look for that in individuals. Like, that's why I say that I view life as a game, a chess game. Like, you look for all the value in each piece on your table. You look for it. But this with each individual. But at the same time, you got to understand that when you and I verse, or you, like you said, communication, you're going to have to communicate. So in doing so, you got to be able to adjust to the likeness of somebody else's chessboard. Because your value is not going to be the same there. Mm-hmm. But can you accept that? How many individuals can accept it? That's the best part of understanding. Being able to set your understanding to the side. What you live by, what you profess, set that to the side to see why somebody else sees, why they see in the manner that they do.
No, nobody want to do that.
Exactly my point.
Yeah.
And this is exactly why I say that I don't process information as the same as nobody out here. I don't play well with others. And because when we reach a stumbling block, just a reaction could make me be like, nah, I ain't trying to rock with you, dog.
You are my brother for real.
So it's like, that's just me. Like,
we were separating at birth. We was just having this conversation. I'm telling you, we was just having this conversation because I'm like that too. Like, I know what I feel, and that's cool. And I know what you feel. But can we set our differences aside and just be like cool with it? Or I got to agree with what you're trying to say?
Basically, yeah. I mean, if
It don't work like that.
we're having this discussion based on achievements, and you want to show me that because of your achievements, because doing it this way, you was able to achieve what you've achieved your way. I'm good with that. But you want to also, talk about the way that I've achieved mine and the method that I use. So basically, the whole conversation is about achievements, and you're trying to achievements. We ain't talking about like what I ain't doing. We're talking about achievements. That's the whole. So you mean to tell me that the way that you did yours outvalues the way that I do mine?
We both got to the same
Exactly.
spot.
We differ in approach, but share similar aspirations.
Right?
Yeah. I live. My poetic life. I live a life in
We're
poetry.
brothers and sisters.
Yeah,
I'm
you
sorry.
already know what it is. You already know what it
We
is.
just gonna go in our bubble, so we don't have to fight people because you can't go back. I don't want to go in, so I mean, it is what it is.
Whoa. Wow,
Yeah.
I like that. It is what it is.
See, you like that? You got to pay for it. I want $1 before you take. What? I'm trying to. I want my money. I'll take it in 4 quarters. It's all right. So,
Oh man.
tell me what you got going on as far as your initiatives, because you have Defying Odds, you have eWeek.
Yeah, I'm partnering in eWeek.
Okay, you're partnering in eWeek, but just talk about some of the things that you have going on, because you are really like dedicating yourself to going back behind that wall and giving that information to the guys behind the wall.
Sure, indeed. And to also give them an outlet for them to, like I said, because that's going to be a lot of the major issues that's going to come with individuals coming home and people in society. Communication, because, like I said, we don't process information the same.
Right.
We don't. So, it's like the medium, there has to be a medium met in the middle. And I express this to you. Like I explained to my brothers on a constant level, like, bro, you got to learn to be patient, bro. I was in the same predicament that you was in, bro. I was that same individual flipping out because, an individual wasn't able to do stuff.
When you wanted it
exactly.
to be done.
Not understanding that stuff actually goes on out here.
A lot.
But it ain't peaches and cream out here. But this is the thing. I like being that medium. Like I said, because I communicate with my brothers. They already know. Like, if they call me on a 3-way, I first and foremost, who is this on the phone? I need you to excuse me because this about to get real vulgar. I'm dead serious.
Right, because you know who you're talking to. You know who you got to communicate with.
It don't make no difference who it is.
Yeah.
Everybody that called me gets it the same.
Same.
Because I want it the same way. If you hear something foul about Raheem, get on that phone and do me the same way. Light me up.
Yeah.
Thing is, you ain't gonna never hear nothing. So that don't go on.
I'm a fan son, just because
I don't do nothing.
I'm going to look for something. I'm going to create something.
Oh, all right.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
They create stuff.
Yeah.
And then you just fly off for what you created. Lies or not, you just fly. It makes for good TV. That's what they do.
Hey, yo.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to enjoy this, though. Like, I'm actually going to enjoy this.
We already know it's gonna be dope.
Yeah, I'm going to
I
enjoy
already
this.
gave a little prelude to next week's guest, which is Mr. Purvo.
Can we get to it?
We can get to.
Yeah, because I got, yes. Matter of fact, the individual that I told you that called me,
Okay.
that broke me, his wife, she do a lot of advocacy work. Nicole, she out here. Matter of fact, yes, Ioka talked to her today and they set up some things. But yeah,
Okay.
definitely get her on here too. I told her last week, she said, then I told her the time, she was like, that's perfect because that's the time that Cindy calling her.
Okay.
I was like, that's a bet, that'd be perfect.
That's
bro.
Nicole.
I don't know her last name. I don't know.
I know Nicole.
I'm blaming mine. Yeah, she know you. Yeah, she know you. Yeah.
I can't think of her last name, but I know Nicole.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we definitely have to get her on. What do you think about the collaborations of different organizations and different officials coming together with the returning citizens of what's been going on over the last couple of years with parole and all of that stuff? How do you feel about some of those relationships? Because a lot is happening.
Okay, it is what it is. No, it's the reason. It is what it is. Oh, you know what? I can't with you, man. I can't with you.
Sure, what were you saying?
Oh my goodness. And the reason why I say it is what it is because everybody got to play their part. Everybody got to stay in their lane. I stay in the lane that's conducive for me and those like-minded.
Okay.
You know, I didn't flow too close to the mainstream from Jump Street.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that I've done thus far to this point, with the assistance of my queen and a few other individuals, tight in my circle, like I did this for myself. I did this all myself.
Okay.
Other than those, I did this all myself. But I done it, like I said, for the love of the game, yo. Like my brothers, we didn't already discuss this chessboard and how and I'm not, like I said, I'm not talking about actually, a check. We already know that. But I'm talking about the way you think, the way you strategize, and everything in your environment. Mm-hmm. Because everything in your environment, if it's there, needs to be conducive to development in some shape, form, or fashion. What you going to have it there for if it ain't bringing about some type of growth and development? What you just got it sitting around? Nah. Everything must have an aim and purpose. Because once you start growth and development in one facet of your life, once you get good in that, it begins to trickle to others. Regardless of whom or what. You can try all you want to. Once you master the art in one aspect, and when I say mastery, simply having control over it, dominancy of your trait. That's all that mastery is.
Gotcha.
To me.
Okay.
Let me make sure I clarify that. To me. Yeah,
thank
because I don't want...
That's good.
To me. I don't, like...
I felt that in my soul.
Yeah.
To me. Because I got to start every sentence.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, my opinion.
Yeah, like, I don't, like...
It belongs to me. It's fine if you don't agree.
Exactly.
I'm cool with that.
But my reason for saying that...
Yes,
and I make it clear that me thinking like that, me perceiving reality like that, like how I understand certain stuff, is the reason I'm able to live my life like this. I was bound to a wheelchair and told I'd never walk again. You've been carrying that stuff for over 28 years. It's damaged your spine to the point that you'll never walk again. I just briefly looked over my shoulder, cracked a smile because I had received feeling back. By the 7th day, I was good. Looked over my shoulder and I told him straight up, you don't know who or what you talking to. And I didn't say nothing else to him until I came to see him when I was out. About 9 months later, walked up in his office. So I'm like, hey, it is what it is.
Really won't. But anyway. But yeah, I feel you. That's why that's my biggest accomplishment for you. Is you walking. Since you don't outweigh one or the other. But I feel what you're saying though. But yeah, I tried to push that over on you earlier, so my bad. I apologize.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long ride.
Yes, it is. But the thing about ain't none of this straight off the head. It's just like
it is.
But I'm vibing like this from Jump Street, so
Right. And it's good because I might need you to calm me down because your brother is getting on me.
No, you yeah. He ain't getting on your nerves.
He is.
Oh yeah, he ain't getting on your nerves.
I love my husband. That's what I do when I'm on the phone. I'm like this. I love my husband.
Oh my! No, she didn't go back to the Color Purple girl rocking on it. Oh my goodness, what you done, man?
I love my husband.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because his life can't get turned up and it's ugly.
It's funny that you said that. And this is for anybody watching that know me. And my feeling towards light skin.
Not the DeBar story, please don't.
Yes, because you just did it. When you said it about 3 or 4 times concerning, you said 3 or 4 times concerning about when that light skin get turned up. Let me tell you something about. I say before another show.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Look at God in this place. Yes, he just descended right on down and said, whoop. So, anyways, let's talk about the exciting things that we have coming up. Sunday, we got the cookout.
Yes.
Presented by May Season. Yes. So my little sister, Teray May, has put on this wonderful event. The theme is, we love you, black man. And we're going to be feeding y'all black men. And everybody out there is going to be a female, and we're going to be catering to our black king. So we need for y'all to know that we love you guys. And that's what we're doing this Sunday.
We definitely appreciate it.
We appreciate you guys.
Yes, we'll do.
I had to tell a friend of mine. He's actually an up-and-coming business owner. And he said, hey, I made this move. And I said, great. He was like, yeah, I'm trying. I said, no, bro, you're doing it.
Yes.
I said, let me tell you something. We've been trying for years. Y'all been trying for years. Life is hard enough for you, brother. You're doing.
Hey, can I ask you why you put emphasis on trying?
Because if you're trying, you're not doing.
No, it's funny that you said that. And this is like something that simple. Like, that's why I be like, I don't process it. Something that simple. Like, to use that, I'm trying to me, that's like a deterrent. I'm serious. Like, that's a blow to me. Like,
but that's a go-to for us.
And this is and I had to block that out. I don't, like I said, I don't even think along the lines. Like,
right. So you're strong enough to do that mentally. I was strong enough to give it, but you see how easy it came off of his tongue.
Yeah.
And I mean, I do it. I've done it. How you doing? Oh, I'm alright. No, you're doing a lot better than what a lot of people doing. Because some people didn't wake up, bruh. But I had to get there. So now when I see people like, good morning or whatever, what's good about it? Well, you woke up. So if that's all you can say, then that's fine, honey. And I walk off.
And the value in waking up.
Bruh.
If you're alive, you can change your condition no matter what condition you're in. If
Every
you're
day.
alive, how can you complain? That's my only response to how you be right at that. I'm living, bro.
I'm living.
That's all I give you. But the value, because you have some individuals like you that tend to, you haven't done it with me yet, but you have some individuals, not on that level anyway, but you have some individuals that will question, what you mean by that? Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm all over the book. I love it. Like, it's a lot to that. That's why I make the distinction between being alive and living, yo.
And that's why I took that opportunity.
Vegetables are alive.
Right. And that's why I took that opportunity to pour into that brother. So you can change the way you think. And I felt like that was my place as a sister to do that. Because yes, you are trying, but you've done more than a lot of people have done. You know how many people say, I want to start a business, but I got to do. I want to start a business, but, and then 20 years later, somebody that started the business, redid your business, did better than your business, and did it all over again, and you still waiting on that business loan.
I want to start a business.
Or you still waiting on, but you ain't thought about the little stuff that you can do. Investing in yourself, which is what that brother did. You know what I'm saying?
The best investment is in yourself.
$50, $75 can get you in a corporation. How many times you done flicked off $75? But you saying you can't be a business owner? That's a lot. So change the way you think so that you can get to where you get. Because I'm trying to tell you, Amazon want that huge big building. It was in a garage. All of these big corporations did not start off like that. But you have to change the way you approach something so that you can get to where you need to get.
Indeed.
Because it ain't all about what you see. It was a struggle behind what you see. I'm trying to tell you. It was a struggle behind what you see. So don't just base it on what you see. Base it on the struggle. Boom, that was a word. Collection plate coming around, cash out. That was a word right there. So, again, for everybody that is in the Richmond, Virginia area, we are having a We Love You Black Man cookout this Sunday at Dory Park. That's located on Darbytown Road. We're going to be in the back by the playground. We're going to have everything set up for you guys to, you can drive up, place your order. We will fix your food. It's one person handling every step of the way. So no cross-contamination. We are obeying all social distancing guidelines. Everybody will have their protective gear on, so you don't have to worry about any of that. But we really want you guys to just come out. You don't have to stay, but at least come out and pick up some food and some gift bags that we have for you guys, because we really want our black men to know that we love you guys. We appreciate you guys. This part is coming from me. No matter what walk of life you're in, I love you and I appreciate you, because it's something to be learned from something. I'm not going to say that I have never put someone down in a situation, talked about something. I'm not going to say that. But what I can say is that I love you no matter what. Hoping that I can get the same. So again, Dory Park from 1 to 4 this Sunday. That's the 21st, right? Father's Day. We look forward to having you guys just ride up, order a meal, come out there and chill with us. We got a female DJ, y'all. We got female volunteers. We got a female photographer. Females are going to be in the building to show y'all, no matter how much we lay y'all up one end down the other, that we love y'all. Okay? So
appreciate
don't make us change our mind before Sunday. Because that's a lot of chicken and rice that we can eat. So,
What if I got myself into?
you did not tell us about Defying Odds. Can you tell us more about Defying Odds, please?
Yes, it's an upcoming organization that will aid and assist returning citizens.
Okay.
With pointing them in the right direction towards organizations or places that's conducive to them as so-called returning citizens, or us, or some of the paperwork convicted felons. Like what avenues would be most productive, for returning citizens.
Mm-hmm.
That we feel, like I said, I'm basing it upon the individuals will be of course, the top brass will be individuals, of that said ability.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're there. But as far as with the interaction with the returning citizens, it's going to be all returning citizens. Because all the programs that I went to, that's what they lacked.
Yeah.
So it was like I was in there and I was just like I'm a sponge. Like I latch on the information and I look at the phone number and it's locked.
Right.
I was sponging up all the information, so it got to a point of, okay, teach me how to do this, because I see where it's going now. Like I'm gonna be out of this program, so teach me how to do this. All of a sudden, I went from golden child to why you gotta be combative. See, that's that institution stuff. You've been locked up too long. You're
Because I asked a question.
Yeah, because I asked to be taught how to do this, as opposed to you keep doing it for me.
Wow.
Show me how to do it, because my thing is, I'm gonna be out of your program soon. And everything that you're doing for me, I need to know, because my disease ain't no cure for. So I'm gonna have it for the rest of my life. So teach me how to do this stuff that I'm gonna have to do for myself for the rest of my life, please, as opposed to keep doing, because I don't want to keep having to come down here and be dependent upon you.
Creating dependency. You told the
Not only that, creating dependency, but keep creating a whole economy. Creating a whole economy.
Make me throw this microphone across this room.
So I'm like, my thing is, that's what pushed me to get Defying Odds. Like, I'm like, I want to have a whole organization of me communicating down there. And when I say me, I mean individuals that's, basically are capable of dealing on communicating on multifacets.
Okay.
It don't make no difference what world you put me in.
Right.
I ain't speaking no multi-languages, but you put me in a joint where people speak English, I bet you I can relate to them.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially in a room full of returning citizens where I know how to navigate.
Better, exactly. And like I said, I'm finding it trickling outside of that. Like I said, because I've done a lot of youth mentoring out here, as opposed to just the doing my prison side. Because I'm like, rehabilitation is good, but prevention is better, yo.
Yeah.
Catch them while they babies, yo. Like, and that's what I learned during the process of working with the kids that was doing the documentary, about this school to prison pipeline. I learned so much about it, like how it's so many diversions that they can do as opposed to sending the kids to the but they send them to the office anyway.
That's right.
If they're black or if they're of color, so-called. So it's like
which makes inner city Richmond the highest school to prison pipeline.
And not only that, but how it dirks those kids' records up, because from that point forth,
They
you
are
catch
in
a
the
case
system.
20, 30, 40, 50 years. The first thing, as a blah, 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 he had a problem for man, that was it.
Yeah.
So, that's what made him push the rule of, it's like sealing off records. But like I said, it's just so many different things with that, and the growing pains that come with it. And like I said, that's what I want Defying Odds to represent. Like, a place where, because we keep in contact. All of us that come home,
Right.
all of us are in contact in one shape, form, or another.
Yes, God, it's
So-
a community. It is a community. Look, them welcome home parties be lit. I want to meet up with it.
Hey, look, the thing about it though, You know how valuable that is for the individuals that's coming home and need
that.
Yes,
and this
is all gonna be a part of Define Odds, yo. Where that support system right there is available because it's being taught by us to us, yo. Yeah. Like, this is what needs to be done, and it's training them also how to get to them babies, yo, to stop them babies from catching up. Look, we starting. I love the babies, yo. I'm been mobbed by somebody's nieces and nephews, literally.
Babysitter, go ahead.
Yeah. I got 2 babies in here. Yeah, I'm good. Yes. So,
But that's dope. It's therapeutic for you guys, and it's prevention for the people that are in the shoes that you once wore. It's full circle. I think it's perfect.
And that's what's neat. Look at it. It's coming for. It's in the
Oh,
logo.
I said that and I didn't even know.
Yeah, it's in the logo.
I just had to turn that back to me. I'm sorry. Okay. But I definitely appreciate that. But that is dope. If that's something that's needed, I don't think it's appreciated as much as it should be, because I can definitely utilize your service.
Vice versa. Definitely.
Yeah.
Vice versa. Seriously, you just don't know what you just spoke yourself up on.
Uh-oh.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh, my bad.
Another piece in the board.
Uh-huh. Bam, Sonya Staples. There you are. Thanks. I appreciate
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes.
Just got another job title. My bad.
Yes, you did.
But is there anything else that's going on with your magazine or Defying Odds that's coming up that you would like to tell people before we go tonight?
Yes. The Beard coloring book. You know, I got a coloring book called Beard Black is Beautiful. It'll be on Amazon in the coming weeks. I had to add some additional artwork in there because it wasn't enough pages as it was. So I added some additional art, and you're gonna love the new art that I've added. You're gonna really love it. It's designs when I was designing for my business associate with the EB Clothing.
Okay.
Because that's how I got in with him. I did the logo, and then I was like, yo, this how the logo would look on clothes. So in the process of me drawing it on clothes, I had to draw people. So I just went on and designed whole little stuff. Like, he bought me the joint the other day and brought tears to my eyes. I was like, yo, I remember when I did that.
Wow.
Yo, I remember when I did that. I'm talking about, and I was like, wow. So that's what I'm putting in there. I think it's gonna be like 8 to 10 pages of stuff that I did strictly for Iwi, for the kids to color, because that's all I'm doing it for.
That's dope.
So I'm really put that on Amazon, and that's what's happening with that. As far as the magazine, Made Magazine, it'll be out. What's it, July?
Which I did an interview for, by the way.
Yeah, July the 1st. Yes, indeed. Yes, he did some great Chanel pages.
No plug.
Yeah, she great Chanel pages. Indeed, Made Magazine. Was founded by once again my brother's in prison, and like it caters to a prison audience, but it also has followers in society as well. So it's like we aiding and assisting as far as we're putting different things out because my girl she knows like she's just a computer geek.
Awesome.
Yeah. She's a computer
amazing
geek, so and it's like I said, I'm a sponge, so I be just figuring out little stuff. You might see me sitting on my phone. I just took up and be like, look at this. So it's like we doing that. Her publishing company. Oh my goodness.
Awesome.
Yeah.
My publishing company.
Yeah.
As well.
So that's like basically like where I'm going with that. So with Made Collections magazine is coming in July 1st. That's gonna be the first publishing under Blog Ready. I mean Vogue.
You know what? You better get it right. VOG.
I said, but
Oh,
listen,
okay.
do you see this one over here making sign languages?
Yeah,
What is
'cause
going on?
we was about to fight. It was about to be a real issue. But we love you.
Yes! Thank love for that one. Yes!
Well, again, before we leave, I just wanted to let you guys know again about the We Love You Black Men Father's Day Cookout this Sunday.
Come out.
June
Come out.
21st from 1 to 4. Please come out and get some free food. And we got little gift bags for you guys as well. The gift bags are brown, so they're nothing feminine. Okay? We got them for the guys.
What?
And it's going to be at Dory Park from 1 to 5. So everybody that's in the Richmond area, Just come and drive through, you guys. We don't want to take up your whole day. Come drive through, get some food, Jamaican food, catered.
And it's good.
Catered
And
Jamaican
it's good.
food.
Yes, it is. It's good.
And it's good.
Yes.
So you guys come on out if you can. If not, we wish everybody, all of our kings, a happy, happy, happy Father's Day. We definitely appreciate you and we love you. And despite everything that's going on in the world, you guys are our kings and forever will be. So, without further ado, this has been Sonya Staples and
Raheem Henderson.
You better say it.
Raheem Henderson.
Okay, Raheem Henderson. And this has been the episode of From Prison to Promise. We are back, you guys. New time, new day, Thursdays from 7 to 9. We will see you guys next week. Until then, be blessed.
Peace.